Hey everybody, how you doing? Photo Dodo here for you, and wanted to do another movie. I want to get into watching more movies, reading more books, and reviewing them for everybody, giving them thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever So Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Um, so I'm glad she was the first one to die. I'm not into people who have to, go like that, click the photos, do the whole selfie thing. Those are always the people I want to die first in a horror movie. So glad she did. So yeah, so that's what it looks like in the back here. Um, so this is Piglet. Uh, why he looks more like a boar, a wild boar, so yeah, wild pig, but okay, fine. And so, and that's Winnie the Pooh, and so yeah, I can understand, having him get into the overalls and stuff because, okay, it is what it is. Um, I will say it's as bad as everyone says it is. The acting, okay, I can't act, I can't sing, I can't dance. I admit that, but it could have been better. And some would say, oh well, it had to do with, they only had so much money. Well, then I throw out to you, um, George A. Romero's uh, horror movie. I point out John Carpenter's Halloween. Day of the Dead, Halloween, both had really bad money to put it. Oh, I shouldn't say bad money, but very low standard for money to put into a movie. Into movies that went crazy bonkers after a certain amount of time. So I don't want to hear that excuse. I'm not gonna complain about how they were dressed. I am like, what was it with Piglet's limp? That was interesting. But it was only Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, none of the other characters. And Eeyore was only there in um, thought and memory, because they told the story of how Eeyore came to die. And which, okay, fine, but it didn't they didn't mention any of the other animals, so we didn't get to see Tigger or the rabbit or anybody. So that was just kind of weird. That was just those two. Because usually it's, if you're gonna do the characters, it's usually the three, well, the four main ones. Eeyore, Tigger, Piglet, Winnie. And so when you take two of them away, you kind of wonder, well, what did happen to the other two? Other than you think that maybe they got eaten as well. So I don't know. They never said, so I'm not gonna, so whatever. Um, okay, so my question is also about the movie, is that for those who have seen it and stuck through the entire thing, do you guys think it's more about humans not feeding the wild animals so that the wild animals have to rely on us to feed them? Because that's how it started out. If you remember the books, Christopher Robin, you know, befriends these animals and brings them food, every day, sometimes, multiple times a day. And we sometimes are stupid and see, I'm close enough to the mountains to where bears are just within a 5-minute drive from me and other people's backyards and stuff. I also have coyotes. In my down here, I have coyotes, bobcats, and I have cougars / mountain lions. So Yeah. Um, there are people who are stupid, who feed them, thinking, oh, how cute, you know. No. But that's how I kind of got it for a little bit. I don't, you know, you could say that about the Winnie the Pooh stuff as well. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna go on that flip side and go on a rant on that. I'm just throwing the question out there to the people who have seen it through. Let me know, you know. Um, and I also say that it's no wonder that they went feral and had such anger towards humans and any animals that they came across. I'm assuming that they had eaten some. I don't know. But it seems like there were some animal carcasses around as well, to give the illusion that they did eat them as well, because I can't fathom as many humans coming around. But they did kill every human because, you know, they had it ingrained in their minds. You know, here we had Christopher Robin doing his thing, you know, so um, that in itself is like, okay, I understand that. Um, God, I wrote a lot. um, it was also interesting, and it boggled my mind, but then as time went on, I was like, okay, it makes sense. But it also boggles my mind at how many vehicles were around. But you know, you stumble upon a really nice campsite with oh, what are those the silver trailers, airstreams. There was I think four, maybe six airstreams in a circle, uh, with a campfire and a deck in the middle of it. Really nice looking campsite, so I can see why people were like, "Oh, okay, cool. You know, here's a nice campsite." And then there was Pooh's house, um, maybe 10, 15 yards away from that, and it was like a tree house, really cool looking, and it was like a, you know, like a two-story, maybe a tree house, three at the most, because you know, floor, second, top. So yeah, um, but there was a lot of antlers around, and I thought, well, what the hell? How bizarre! But you know, how are you going to get food other than to lure humans to your campsite? So, okay, fine. I'll buy into that for, you know, the prized meat of humans. Um, and I did watch the movie with a sense of humor. I had to, because I knew going into the movie, um, it was not going to be good. So it wasn't. But, you know, I waited it out, and okay. And mind you, I got sent this. So I had been wanting to watch it just to see how good, bad, otherwise it was. Um, so they did have some gross out factors. You know, acting aside, some people could say that about Scream, Halloween, you know, our more traditional movies, you know, what have you. And then there are people like me who will fight you to the death about how good Halloween is. Yes, we can complain about the later issues and what have you. So yeah, at any rate, it is what it is with the acting. So, um, but the gross out factors uh, were cool, or well, not cool, but you know, more traditional in the sense of movies where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this, you know, like I have a sledgehammer, so I'm gonna hit you in the side of the face with it, and or I'm gonna hit you in the eye in it, you know, what have you. So it was more of the traditional lines of they needed these to, you know, kill the humans. Piglet, it was, you know, with, you know, eating at the neck in the face of another person. Um, and what was weird is Winnie the Pooh knew how to drive. Because what he did is he got into a car, drove it real slow, And the gal who was the social media person, she was not the first to die, but she was one of the top, I think, three to die. And ran over her head, eye popped out. So that was kind of cool. And then Piglet kind of went just downtown eating her up. So there was, a few, scares like that. And then what what kind of another thing that kind of boggled my mind is the bees. I didn't quite understand the bees, and then excuse me, is that Winnie the Pooh controls them, and when a human starts running, he goes like that, and then the bees come and go after the human, and disable the human, kill them. So I was like, oh. And I think the bees are also going to be part of something where they can clean off the skeletons, to make them the way they were. So, um, okay. So I'm not hating it. It was kind of a cool effect. So that was kind of cool. And what was another thing? I kind of got ahead of myself. Was that to get into the house and campsite, there was a wall of trees, like intertwined, like, you'd see like a bush, and it was a tunnel that you went through. I thought that was kind of cool. I thought maybe a nod to Blair Witch. I also thought a nod to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre because of all the hooks that were around, the J hooks from, that butchers use for sides of meat and what have you. Beef, yeah. And other things to butcher sides of meat with and what have you. I didn't write this down, but they also had a nod to the movie Fargo, the first kill. The Pooh had torn her shirt off and then banged her head against the wood chopper, and then started slowly feeding her into it, and so blood all over him, the meat coming out, and then like he eats the honey, he was doing that. So that was an interesting gross out factor, because with the honey he was kind of like going like that with him because he was enjoying it so much. Same with the minced meat, woodcutter meat, same thing. So, yeah, so there were some good gross out factors on that. And another nod to Michael Myers' Halloween was having the girl get pinned up. Well, this one was, part Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then, putting her up, I think it was on the hook. And then if not, then it was putting her on, a door, or a wall, and then shoving the knife through her mouth. So that was another nod to, Halloween Michael Myers. So that was interesting. Also, uh, yeah, so that was pretty much what I had for notes. So let me know what you think. It was sort of cryptic at the end because we assume that Piglet died because he had a couple of mallets to the face and head, and he was tied up. Because the girls that did get away, just kind of went. Well, the one girl that got away, boom, boom, well, got away, and she wound up dying at the end. Christopher Robin, and if I'm ruining it, sorry. Christopher Robin dying at the end as well. And I thought, what a puss for begging for his life. They're animals. What are they gonna do? I mean, come on. And at any rate, it was sort of cryptic at the end. I don't remember what the I didn't. Oh, I did. Write it down. I was smart enough to do that. So I think it was at the very end of the credits, where it says Winnie the Pooh will return, because at the end of the movie, you see he's the only one that survived. And, normally, humans don't, animals don't, but it would be, not that I would see it again, watch it, but be interesting, what is there in human supernatural in them, to get them to live like they are. Why did he survive and Piglet not, or why did both of them survive? And would the other cast of characters in the book, come into play? So yeah, it is what it is. I'm glad I was able to borrow it from a cousin. So yeah. So enjoy. This is just something, if you can get it, borrow it from like the library. I doubt they would have it. Or borrow it from a friend or, a family member or something. Or if you can get it for like 99 cents streaming or $1.99, then it would be worth that. But where it's at now, I think the last I had seen it was $3.99. No. So yeah. So there's my movie review. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe. Give me some comments. Let me know what you guys thought of it, okay? So have fun, enjoy. Bye.